Ready? Summertime in the GC. We're trying to drink a beer and beat this heat. Right. No. Welcome back. This is Matt from Jaggers Brewing Co. I'm here with my very special guest and very best good boy, Duncan. He's our family protector, protects us from squirrels and hawks and sometimes helicopters that fly by and any other random thing to bark at generally. So he's decided to come hang out for just a little bit and hopefully not climb on the table.
Poor boy.
Come on. No. Okay. Okay, so that didn't last long before some random behavior. He's our little wild boy, really. So anyways, let's talk about today's project. So today's project is an escarpment project. They were kind enough to send me some yeast. I had to pay for the shipping for all the yeast that they sent us. We've got a few different escarpment projects going along. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen a few of them going. I've got about 2-3 more to go. Those projects have kind of drug out a little bit. Some other things kind of came up that I wanted to get done. So we're going to circle back to those really soon. I think those are going to make some pretty good later summer, maybe kind of early fall beers. But I found myself without a Kettle Sour or Berliner Weisse, and so I wanted to get one done. With this mix here, I used the Escarpment Ebbegarden Kveik mix, and to sour it we used this their Escarpment Lacto Blend 2.0. Normally I've been using the White Labs 677. I've had really good luck with that. Some repeatable, that's kind of been the most consistent lacto that I've used. But I was excited with this opportunity to try a different Kveik and then also to try a different lacto strain, especially one that's kind of a little harder to get here in the States. To note, I've entered this into a couple competitions, and I have also shared this with a good amount of friends and family here. So here is the beer, little chill haze. This was bottle conditioned, so we do have a little bit of the yeast settlement still floating around in there too. I poured a little bit heavily there. We've got some decent carbonation going on right now, and we're going to talk about some of the judging notes on this beer. So on the nose, we have a nice subtle tartness, a little apple. You know, normally during fermentation, if you get some apple esters and stuff like that, you're kind of stressing out the yeast a little bit. The head has dissipated into being fairly thin. It's not completely a super small thin ring, but it's starting to get there, fading. Picking up a little bit on some like doughiness. So it definitely has a good tart bite to it. Something it's not as pronounced in the aroma. You know, sometimes with like these Berliner Weisse or Kettle Sours or whatever, the mouthfeel and the taste will often kind of mimic a lot of what is in the aroma as far as that goes for the notes. It's dry, but not dry enough. Nice, simple, little one-dimensional Kettle Sour to get you through the summer, you know. Not a bad beer at all. I can see these being pretty good, you know, coming in off the lawn, little lawnmower beer. This one came out to be right at 3.4% ABV. Same for the pH, right at 3.4% or 3.4 pH. It's really pretty right down the middle, pretty good. Nothing really to brag home about, right? And so like some of that might be from my techniques on this. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily disappointed. I think this thing definitely offers some profiles and some taste that I haven't quite had before in the ones that I've had. I do feel like it could use a little bit more carbonation. It is higher carbed, as you can tell. I've already got a little bit of belching going on, but you know, if I were to go into any more higher carb, I probably wouldn't be using these bottles. I'd be using more of the thick glass Belgian bottles. So the recipe is basically the same as the one that I've pretty much been using for the standard Berliner, my like fixed recipe after I did the whole first batch ones there, where I had mixed up some grains and stuff. But it's pretty easy. 50% German pills, 50% wheat malt. You know, nothing super special, no specialty malts or anything like that. We used the yellow dry or the yellow balanced profile with our RO water there to adjust for all the ions there in the water profile. We mashed for 75 minutes at 148. We boiled for 15 minutes after we pulled the grains, just to kind of get that wort sterilized and ready to receive the Lacto blend here. To note, as far as the souring effect went on it, we did pretty much the same that we normally do for that. I used my heated setup that I use for both Kveik and souring. Everything went without a hitch there. Just really run-of-the-mill. It took about 2 days, I believe, if I remember right. I brewed this a while ago, so it's not the freshest beer that we have around here, or the freshest that really kind of the style deserves to say. It's not bad. I've been drinking these kind of off and on. I still feel like it's pretty decently in its prime. But so after we reached our pH, which we started off at 5.2 pH for our wort before we pitched the Lacto, we got down to 3.4 in about 2 days. You know, if you've never kettle soured before, if you have kettle soured before, you kind of know basically you need to be ready for the boil when the wort's ready for you to go there. I've never really been successful to get one to drop down to 3.2. I've waited around a while before and just I've never been able to do it. I think I'm going to try to make some attempts to make that happen next go around. So we went from the 5.2 to the 3.4 in 2 days. Heated it at 95. Apparently I gotta wait for somebody on a riding lawnmower to go by. So after we reached that pH and we boiled for 45 minutes to finish out all the boiling, we added 5.1 IBUs of Magnum for 15-minute addition, at which time we added the Whirlfloc Tablet. As per every other time that I've used Kveik, and I've never used this strain before, I went ahead, doubled up on the Yeast Nutrient, and we added that at the 10-minute edition. Chilled everything down, and we pitched that Ebbegarden Kveik blend there from Escarpment. We fermented that at 95 degrees with the same heated setup that we used for souring and that we normally use for all the other heated Kveik fermentations. So now that it's had some time, still picking up on that apple. Really hasn't changed much now that the head's gone. Still seeing a little bit of good formation of some carbonation here. Like I said, we definitely have got some of the yeast settlement from bottle conditioning. So we entered this into a competition. It's actually gone into a few this year so far. I've only got score sheets back from one of them. Scored a 31.5, and so I accidentally ended up needing to hurry up and bottle condition these things about a week before the entries were due, and one of the entries was flat, and the judge said that it ruined the experience. They noted that it could use a little bit more tartness and sourness and carbonation, which makes sense. I mean, I sent this thing off about a week before the entries were due. Totally my fault on that deal. The other judge said that it could have used just a little bit more carbonation, that it was a pretty good beer. It scored a 34 from them. And you know, the mixed scores between the both of them brought it down to a 31.5. So kind of got beat up there. So we'll see how this thing evolves over the next couple competitions that I've turned it into, and I'm excited to see how it does. Honestly, I don't feel like it's my best work, like I said. But I think that falls back on me and not so much the yeast strained or the Lacto blend. So I've been waiting for the trash truck to come by all morning long, and it decided to come by while I'm filming. So give us a second, and we'll be right back as soon as all this passes. Alright, now that we've got that nonsense out of the way, we shared this beer with our friend. Welcome to Texas, loud trucks. So we shared this beer with our good friend Gnome. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. Super cool guy. Man, he's just ready to help anybody and everybody as much as he knows about a subject. You know, if he doesn't know, he'll tell you, hey, I don't know that much about that, you know, let's look at it together. But Gnome was super cool about it. So I sent it to him, and he said that it was killer, that it stands up on its own without fruit. He said to add a little bit of complexity, he felt like adding some peach or some mango to it would help liven it up some. And I could definitely see that, especially with the peach. I think the peach would be a very good addition to this beer. I think it would mix well with the amount of tartness there. Maybe even add a little bit of extra sweetness and a little bit of, you know, body back into it some. And then he said maybe add in some flaked oats for a nice finishing touch on the back end would help it out. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I was shooting more for that kind of like Berliner Weisse type of beer experience with this thing. And I think that the flaked oats might take away from that and then toss it outside of the style guidelines for the beer. But it would not make a bad beer, I bet. I think this is definitely at that low of an ABV, and the tartness and everything. I think it's thirst quenching. And it's definitely like that whole like heat beater, you know, lawnmower type beer. I enjoy it. Like I said, though, it's not exactly my my best work, and so kind of being unfamiliar with the Lacto strain and being a little bit of unfamiliar with that particular Kveik, you know, maybe I had some work to do there. Now I pitched that whole yeast packet on the beer, all that Kveik. I don't normally do that. Normally I like to take about two teaspoons, throw it in, stress it out, so I really get all those esters and all that going. Really stress it out, get the maximum amount of flavor out of those Kveik strains as I can. And maybe that's why this thing doesn't pop as much. Like I said, I'm not really super familiar with the Lacto blend there, and I just use my standard you know, Berliner Weisse Kettle Sour recipe for this. So maybe I should have used a different hop, or maybe I should switch to more of the yellow dry profile. Maybe that'll help wake this thing up too some. So I would definitely use these two products again for sure. Like I said, I think there's a little bit of work that I would need to do with it to get it to really pop, really shine there. But again, you know, that's kind of the problem with these kettle sours, being a little bit more one-dimensional as far as that goes. So having said that, though, our next beer that we're going to debut from the Escarpment team will be the Valor, and so that's going to be a mixed culture version. So we'll have some sack and then some Brett in that one, and that'll be a pretty fun one to drink. I've been drinking that now for a while, and I really enjoy it. So until next time, guys, cheers. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel. Go check out Gnome's channel, and go check out Escarpment. Man, they make some really good products, some really good yeast. Those people are super helpful if you got some questions, and they'll help you out with a recipe if you're kind of stuck. So again, thank you guys so much. Cheers.
Duncan, are you a good boy? You're a good boy? You're the best good boy.
He is the best good boy. Yes, you are. How's it look?
I think it looks pretty good.
Okay. You ready? Are you ready? You ready to do this? Best good boy? Thank you. Yes, okay. Okay, okay. Look at the camera. We're doing this.
Duncan.
Camera. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, stay. All right. Well, we've done it now.
Oh,
Let's
Duncan, you're getting footprints.
Okay, go play.
Well, that was clean.